Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 10th of April for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you a collective overview that we can all relate to, but please stay with me as I explore each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in much greater detail. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, it's great to have you with us. This is very much a community, so please share any thoughts you have, and I'd be honoured if you would subscribe to the channel. So please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. However, if you would like to understand how more serious astrology can play a role in your life and your decision making, if you do give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can prepare for you your life roadmap report. This will help you to get a much more intimate understanding of the patterns that have played out so far, but how you can overcome the challenging ones and seize the more positive ones more firmly. Also, in my special package of 30% off, you can get your 12-month personal forecast, totally unique to you. Now please see below for more on that, but if you don't know your time, if you can give me your date of birth and your place of birth, I can produce your solar chart. This won't have an ascendant, it assumes the moon at midday, but if you really enjoy my YouTube videos, you can align it with your sun sign really well. And again, the special offer applies to that too. Again, please see below for more. Now this week begins with the Sun racing towards an exact conjunction with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. Now this is one of the best aspects you can possibly have in astrology. The Sun, of course, is about our raw energy and our desire to achieve things, but Jupiter is very much about expansion and it's about optimism, and it can in traditional astrology be linked to fortune. When we put the two together in the first zodiac sign of Aries, we're talking about the fire of that sign sparking greater confidence, momentum, thrust. So a lot of excitement reaches a peak on Tuesday. They're still going to be allied to one another really well right through this week. But if there is something you want to inject with fresh energy, this is a great time to do so. However, this can be a complex week for relationships, because Venus also moves on Tuesday into the sign of Gemini, where it's very flirty, very sociable, great for mixing and mingling, or even sending those cheeky text messages. But it forges a very profound link with Pluto for the rest of the week. So I feel that there can be conversations, because both are in air signs, which can help us to really understand who's really in our corner. But conversely, stern Saturn, very much to do with restrictions, is forging a tense right angle to Venus. So if there are any relationships in your world which aren't working very well, I think this is a week that's going to flag them up, despite the innate positivity of the Sun's conjunction with Jupiter. But there is another irony, because the North Node, obviously mainly usually reversing, forges a very stable link with Saturn. So if we've done something in the past which has been a good deed, we've helped someone, we've really invested in some way, perhaps even been generous around our resources, I think something can come back to us in a positive way. But the quarter moon, which occurs on Thursday, is in the sign of Capricorn. So those relationship snags may be around professional ties as much as personal ones. Jupiter's involved in that event too, so that's telling. And it's asking us really to stay grounded. For example, if we felt we had such a super duper idea and we really felt that everyone should be just in awe of its magnificence, the chances are that somebody in a position of influence, someone who's been around a bit longer, someone who's quite experienced, who could be important to the next phase of the development of this, whether it's the bank manager, a business advisor, an investor, someone in the family, or perhaps even a boss, it's important to keep those more traditional people on side. So we need to make sure that Anything we are promising we can deliver on in a meaningful and tangible way, which is very Capricorn. However, by the end of this week, Mercury does just edge forwards, although it is slowing down, ready for its retrograde, which begins next week, into a conjunction with Uranus. So some kind of innovation or unusual idea around how to use our resources could manifest itself as this week draws to a close. But please stay with me as I go through each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. So Sagittarius, as this week begins, Venus prepares to make its way into your opposite sign, one of the most dynamic transits that she can go through, because the 7th house is a flavour of the sign of Libra, which is about relating and listening and finding the midpoint between our needs and the needs of the person we're reaching out to. But of course it's hosted by the sign of Gemini, which can be very witty, very flexing in terms of thought. So you may find yourself encountering a few different people over the next few weeks, but people that you can really feel comfortable being around. Also, the Sun forges that very, very lovely connection with your ruler Jupiter on Tuesday in your sector of demonstrativeness, of joys, of self-expression, of happiness. So what a wonderful combination. It's just that Saturn in your 4th house could just see a little bit of fear or anxiety or tension creep in when it comes to opportunities to socialise or around your love life, and try to resist getting frozen in what might not quite work out as you want. In fact, Pluto is incredibly supportive to Venus, and if you do have some conversations that you really feel a connection with the other person, that is something that can be very uplifting. When it comes to your resources, however, you could be in the mood to be a little bit more frivolous on the back of the quarter moon as the week develops, or someone close to you may be keen to get some kind of support from you. However, the fact that the North Node in the part of your horoscope that's to do with practicalities is forging a very solid link with Saturn. If there are some home changes that are really calling out to you, the chances are that process can take a step forwards. In fact, by the end of this week, there may be a sudden speed up in events, and things could get quite thrilling quite quickly as this week draws to a close.